Welcome back to the Cinema Cult Network. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And we are doing a very special month. It is our halfway to Halloween. We are celebrating Halloween with Vinegar Syndrome releases. Now, if you don't know what Vinegar Syndrome is, it is a boutique Blu-ray label. What are some of the more popular hits that they've released? I know Rad was a big one that they had.
Yeah.
It's mainly like underground, like cult films.
Fade to Black
cult
was a popular
slash
one that they...
B movies.
Madman. Madman's a great
Yes.
one.
Yes, I know you like Madman. Not the show, the movie.
Yeah, a lot of it's like I feel like it's stuff you saw in the video store when you were a kid, and it was like
That's a good way to put it.
It's like
Yes,
the horror
it
section of
is.
the sci-fi stuff where it's like, oh, I remember seeing this cover a lot in the video store, but I've never seen it before.
Yes,
There's
That's
one-
how I describe.
That's a really good way to put it.
Vinegar.
Yeah.
One of their titles stars Kathy Ireland, Alien in L.A., I believe, or Alien from L.A.
Okay.
And it was a Mystery Science Theater 3000
Oh,
cool.
movie. I remember.
Okay.
I was surprised to see that on the list.
Yeah, they're honestly though. I would also describe them. They're all like just fun movies.
Yeah.
Like they're all
It's a
fun
good label.
watches.
They do some
Yeah.
really good picks. I think the VHS thing that you were saying, Matt, is like pretty spot on. Like you probably all three movies that we do, you will probably have seen the VHS cover at some point.
Yes.
We should actually put that for the podcast episodes is that cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna celebrate it by doing only movies put out by them. We actually had a run-in with them in a good way at the horror
Sounds like-
on the streets.
Sounds like it's like a gang.
It was bad.
gang beef.
We went to a Horror Hound recently, and that's the one where it's like pretty much like a horror Comic-Con. And they had a booth there, and they were extremely nice, and they had a great collection of films. We picked up a good handful of them,
Yes.
and now we'd like to watch them and talk to you about them. So we're going to start off with my pick, which is Girlfriend from Hell from 1989. This is actually a very, very recent release. I think it was like end of February it came
Okay.
out. Up until then, I don't even think I had a DVD release. It went from like VHS to Blu-ray.
Wow.
So yeah, it hasn't been in any format, like a hard format.
Yeah,
in like,
yeah.
30 years, whatever.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say if you listen to our last episode, we'll bring it back up though. Me and Chris grew up watching this movie on Comedy Central back in the 90s.
It sounds.
I don't know.
Uh,
I think it was Comedy.
I
Central.
think it was Comedy Central.
I think it may be because this movie sounds so familiar, but I don't remember anything.
Really?
But we tried hunting it down a good chunk of years ago.
For years, yeah.
Honto clued us into what the movie actually was, and then we went to go look it up, and nothing was online except a YouTube copy of it. And it was like,
The
VHS
description you gave me was like
transfer,
it's a
pretty bad
girl who's a friend. And she's maybe from Heck, and I typed it in.
Yeah.
Oh, Girlfriend from Hell.
Oh, okay. You were close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had totally forgotten about this movie in general. And when we went to Horror Hound, they had a copy of it. And I was like, oh, I got to buy it. But it was also kind of a blind buy because I haven't seen it in probably like 25 years.
yeah.
So like, yeah, it was cool when I was 10, 12. This is a total blind buy.
I think you made a good choice.
We will get there. So Girlfriend from Hell from 1989. I do not have a Rotten Tomatoes score, but I do have an IMDb score and a Letterboxd score.
okay, I do know the IMDb score.
I don't know.
Unfortunately.
Okay, we'll let Honto an IMDb out of 10. What do you think this has?
5.7.
4.9.
Okay.
Okay. Letterboxd out of 5. Matt, we'll start off with you.
I'm gonna go 2.9.
Okay.
3.
It's 2.9.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't look it up because I don't look up cast and crew, so I haven't logged it yet on my entries. So that was a
Okay.
total guess.
Okay.
This movie seems like a 2.9 on Letterboxd. Where
All
it's
right.
like
You're like a connoisseur when it comes to letterbox.
You
know.
are a carnosaur.
Connoisseur.
Carnosaur 2.
Have you ever heard of All Movie? It's
yeah.
okay.
I think so.
So All Movie, I guess, gave this film 2 stars. I don't know if they did this out of 4, if they did this out of 5.
Mhm.
But that was something I found on Wikipedia. Because here's another thing too. I don't have any financial information on this movie. There's no box office numbers.
They've literally
There's no budget.
There's literally no paper trace for this movie.
This
All I
movie
got-
doesn't
yeah.
exist.
This is what I talked about earlier in the
Yeah.
episode or before off the air. There was no real trivia. And the only
Yeah.
trivia I got is that it was filmed in 18 days.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
okay.
excellent trivia.
And then that the main girl dated the director.
Leanne Curtis.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing I have to
great,
add to
yeah.
it, since I try to like make up for my lack of info on this movie, so I have 2 reviews for this movie that I did find. One was from the Daily Grindhouse. Wrote, this is a negative review. This is the type of film that sets up a mythology for the sake of a few jokes and then doesn't give a shit about it. Example, the gun-toting nuns have nothing to do with this plot. Mind you, and they have no idea they're shooting at Satan. The filmmakers just want to make a joke about gun-toting nuns.
Yeah, I wasn't lost in that.
Yeah,
But
I feel like that's a stupid review because it's like what the mythology of these nuns.
Get out of here.
I wasn't like, wait a minute, let's go back to the nuns. What was that all about? Like,
No, I agree.
I got that it was like a Naked Gun style joke.
Yeah.
But then from Creature Features, the science fiction, fantasy, and horror movie guide, the author of that praised it, saying it's a supernatural sci-fi spoof so dumb that it's fun to watch thanks to good performances by an ensemble cast, which I agree. I think that the cast is a lot of fun in this, and they hold together really well.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil my review for you yet, but go ahead, Honto. Take us through the cast and crew. I'm excited.
Directed by Daniel Peterson. The only thing that I wrote down, I didn't recognize anything from his filmography because he made this movie in 89 and then took basically a 12-year hiatus in 2001, and everything else is pretty much like unknown.
Okay.
But before he made Girlfriend from Hell, it was a little movie called Vampire Nights. And I'm curious to see based on the poster.
I saw this.
You did see this.
No, I saw
Is it
that-
like KNI?
No, I haven't seen this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It stars the goofy boyfriend
You're
in this
doing
movie.
my job for
Are
me.
you going to say that?
Matt's true.
Wait, were you going to say that?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, why? Why didn't you just say it?
Because I haven't gotten to him yet.
Wait, you're really going to wait? Never mind.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I made a note here also. You guys have been getting the habit of doing my job for me, so.
I haven't. It's Matt.
Well, I guess like off podcast, like
Oh yeah.
during the movie.
Honto's okay. So while we
But
watch
yeah,
this together,
Vampire Nights. I wanted to check
Vampire
it out
Nights.
too. It stars the
Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco in this.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I wonder if it's available because it looks awesome.
I saw it and I was like, I got a master list of movies to watch with you guys, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's a movie I want to
We
watch.
should probably
with these
add
guys.
that to the list.
Yeah, that's on the list.
Starring Leanne Curtis as Maggie, previous episode 16 Candles. She's also in Critters 2 and Rock and Roll High School Forever. Not the one
The
starring
sequel.
the sequel
Yes,
starring.
I did look that up because I just watched the first one not too long ago.
Yeah.
That first one's fun. It's ridiculous.
It's the Ramones, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like PJ Souls and Clint Howard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
This sequel though stars Corey Feldman, and it was on Comedy Central all the time.
Really?
I used to see it. All the
I do
time.
not remember this.
Then we have Dana Ashbrook as Chaser, Twin Peaks fame, and then we have Return of the Living Dead Part 2, and there was another movie. I think we've talked about him in this movie in the past, but he was in Ghost Dad. He was the boyfriend.
Yes.
And
Oh, okay.
Cosby like goes through the phone. And he's like,
Oh, yeah.
whatever, and he's like choking him out or something.
Dude, we could have had a whole month of him doing Ghost Dad, this, Waxwork,
Yeah,
Return of the
Waxwork.
Living Dead. Yeah, that would have been a good
Yeah.
solid month.
Yeah.
We have Lezlie Deane as Diane, previous episode Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. She was also in an episode of Freddy's Nightmares. And then she's also in 976 Evil.
Which we just watched, but I do not remember her character.
She's
in
the
that.
girlfriend.
Like the main?
I think she's the girlfriend in that movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess she had a rapport with Robert Englund because multiple
Mm,
entries
yeah,
of
yeah.
his.
Oh, and he
basically.
directed 976 People.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
So,
Okay.
We have James Dalton as David. It's the blonde-haired guy from Animal House.
Okay.
He's also in Spies Like Us. So he works with John Landis twice.
Oh,
between
yeah.
Animal House and
Oh,
Spies
cool.
Like Us.
Cool. Cool.
And then he's in a little movie called Blind Date. You own the soundtrack to Blind Date.
I do with Cheers. What's her name? I can't think of what's
Kirstie Alley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like surprised to
Really?
see.
Wow, a movie I've never heard of has been brought up twice in the past like 5 months.
It sounds like it's destiny. We got to cover the episode now.
Done.
Then we have Anthony Barrile as Carl, the timid guy that is linked with paired with
He looks
Maggie.
like a Franco.
He's not, but he's in previous episode Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. I think he's one of the greasers.
He is one of the greasers. Yeah.
Yes. I just watched it.
We watched for the podcast.
No, I did I watch it for the podcast?
Yeah, Friday the 13th back in like November, maybe.
Not even a year ago. Yeah.
It was,
No.
it was like
Was it
September.
November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, we had to do I had to call an emergency meeting and be like, "It's Friday the 13th. We got to cover our movie."
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
We
true.
covered that. It was
Yeah.
an off Halloween because it was like we got to save the Halloween for a better Jason for Halloween, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
true. This is very true.
Ken Abraham as Rocco. He worked with the director in Vampire Nights. And then
Oh.
the other movies I recognize him in is Hobgoblins and Creepazoids, both movies I'd seen the poster for in video stores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really feel like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to kind of predict this with our podcast.
We will cover these movies at some point.
Yes. I feel like Girlfriend from Hell and a lot of these movies that we're talking about, this is going to be our new bread and butter, and that we're going to officially become Cinema Cult.
Yeah, this
After
is the entry.
Because these are movies no one's talking about.
Oh yeah,
And,
I would- and
But
they're
they deserve to be.
and they're
Yeah.
movies I would definitely watch in a heartbeat.
Yes.
yeah. And like now I'm like, I'm going to spoil my review. I really enjoyed watching Girlfriend from Hell with you guys.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of these movies, I'm like, man, I want to watch all these movies with these guys, like,
Yeah.
and then talk about them. But
Well,
I'm
that's-
going to predict that
Sure.
Cinema Cult's going to go this route a little bit more in the future.
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
That was my big thing is like Hunter bought the entire catalog of Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, I'm
Shares.
I'm a part owner of
Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome.
You bought
And
shares.
I bought a good handful, but like I don't want to watch them without you guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
like they're on
Yeah.
standby, and it's like I can't touch these until like it's a group watching.
Yeah.
Sarah Kate Coughlan as Frida. She's one of the friends. Witchboard 2, another movie I would like to watch with you guys because
Oh,
I've seen
wow.
the first movie.
First one's fun.
First one's pretty
Me and
fun.
Chris
Yeah.
watched the first one back in October.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Together.
it's fun.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how the Witchboard comes back to life in this one.
That's the
Yeah.
one with Tawny Katan, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then we have Hilary Morse as Alice. This is the Daryl Hannah lookalike. Just wanted to bring it up so you guys know.
I'm with you. Thank you for
is.
saying that.
Brad Zutaut as Teddy, another one of the friends. Back to School is the only thing I recognize him from. And the last person I'll mention is James Karen as Carl's dad. Previous episode, Congo, Return of the Living Dead, Part 1 and 2, Invaders from Mars, and Mulholland Drive.
Yep.
This is weird because I forgot he was in this movie. He's in this one scene.
Yeah, they build him up because he's like a at this point, you know, he's been probably in both Return of the Living Dead and he's
with Dane Ashbrook.
yeah.
He's in the
okay.
sequel with Dane
Oh
Ashbrook.
yeah, they're like. Wait, no, that's the first.
No,
one.
no, yeah. Both
Okay.
of those guys. The other guy's
Yes,
still in.
that's-
Dan
I get it.
Ashbrook is a friend.
He's like the boyfriend, or
He's the one
No,
that's-
he's like a repairman that shows up.
Oh, so
and
he's
then
like-
he gets like
Oh,
wrangled
yes,
in.
wow,
So
I
he's
totally-
like one
yeah.
of the core three basically because
Yeah.
it's the
He's the
it's-
main. He's like the main dude in the second one.
Ah,
It's been a while since
because
I've
then
seen
it's
the
the
second
sister and the brother as well.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
one.
Okay,
Interesting.
And then the dad you're talking about.
he's the grave robber.
Yeah,
with
the
the
grave
guy.
robber with the blonde guy.
Yep,
Who,
which is Tommy Jarvis.
yeah, Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, a lot of connections there.
Right.
That was a lot. So let's go ahead and dive into Girlfriend from Hell. The movie, the basic plot for this movie, if you haven't seen it, it is about a birthday party, and a friend invites one of her friends that's extremely shy to this party, and then one of their other friends invites this other guy who's extremely shy to this party, tries to make them click and like be together as a couple, but there's different plans for this evening because the devil possesses her because the devil's being chased by a God's bounty hunter,
He's like a bounty hunter from Purgatory is the
Mhm.
best way to describe
which is
it.
really cool. Yeah.
And his name is Chaser.
Yes. So he comes down to earth and he's chasing the devil that's now in this very shy girl, but now she's very open.
Yeah.
And hilarity ensues. So that's the basic plot of the movie, just to give you kind of like a heads up of what this is about. So it starts off, and like when they show her on screen, she is like awkward as you can be. Like they were
Oh my God.
like,
Yeah.
make her just the most antisociable person.
I
you
will
could
say
think
they
of.
do a really good job of the complete 180 of her being timid versus
Yeah.
her being like the girlfriend from hell.
Yeah, because she's almost unrecognizable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's probably because that big hair that she's
Yeah,
wearing. the
her
entire-
head grows like 4 sizes, like the Grinch's heart. It's instead her hair is so big. She looks like a Funko Pop doll.
It
Yeah.
is pretty insane how big it gets. But they're at the party, and I think there's what, 8 of them? Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
basically. Yeah.
And you got the one couple, it's the guy's birthday and his girlfriend. They fight all the time in this, and it's hysterical.
And a lot of physical abuse towards the male.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that part's not hysterical. The only part that's hysterical is when you have them in the foreground, and in the background you have like an actual like the couple like discussing the party.
Yeah.
But in the foreground, they just keep smacking each other for no reason whatsoever. It is so bizarre, but like the humor is there.
Yeah.
It's not like when she just hits him, it's degrading.
Yeah.
But when they're like fighting up front and close, it's
Yeah.
pretty funny. But yeah, they decide to go out for a night on the town. And there's like some scenes where like, so now she's the devil. The devil's like, I want to drive. I haven't driven in years. So the devil drives. They go past these nuns who are named Frank and Beans.
Yeah, I'm glad you wrote that down because I also wrote that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically,
why are they Franken beans? I don't
it's just
understand
a
it.
goofy
I think
joke.
it's just a
No, I mean,
dick and
like,
balls joke.
The nunnery
yeah.
is called Franken beans.
No, the sisters are. They're like
It's-
Sister Frank and Sister Beans.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a joke you would like, I feel. I feel like you think that's funny.
is right
you know
up
what?
your alley,
I
man.
watched it with you. I didn't laugh at it.
That's true.
So no, I didn't.
So the nuns talk about that the neighborhood they're in is very unsafe and it's very dangerous, and that's why they've been carrying
And
guns.
I think like one of them shows like a little like it was almost like a Derringer like little
Yeah.
pistol. And they're like, oh, put that away.
yeah.
yeah.
You know.
Then after the devil drives by and almost hits the nuns, I think the editing is good on this.
But
This joke could have really bombed.
before the shootout that's about to happen.
Yeah.
This is one of two stunts that are absolutely amazing.
Oh man,
in
there
this
are.
movie.
Yeah. We'll have to start. We'll have to talk about the stunt work, but go ahead.
Yeah, so like they're basically, the girlfriend from hell, aka Maggie, is driving all wildly, and everyone's like hanging for dear life in the car. And then it cuts to like a wide shot, and they're turning a corner, and there's a guy that's walking the street that literally jumps over this car.
It's pretty impressive.
And it's
Yeah.
really amazing. We had to rewind it because we're like, that
yeah,
really
it's an
just
awesome
happen?
stuff.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the stunt work in this movie is excellent.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it because I guess it took me by surprise.
Yeah.
There's a part where she gets kicked out a window.
Oh God.
And you could tell it's probably the same stunt guy.
Yeah.
But the way the guy hits the roof and falls
like
off the
bouncing.
house, it was like, man, he really got rocked.
It's
But I
like
feel like the reason we laughed at it is because it was so not genuine is what we're looking for, authentic.
yeah.
Because it looked like it wasn't
It's-
like this like play stunt where like I'm gonna hit and
It's
I'm gonna
not
cover
s-
myself. Like it looked like someone legit got pushed. It's very well
it's
done.
like not. It's not like it doesn't feel staged or like it's planned
Yes,
out
yeah.
in a way where it's like a controlled fall.
Agreed.
It's like bouncing backwards, and it looks just
100%,
kind of like
yes.
Hopefully they landed on the mat.
Yeah.
Basically.
So yeah, the devil's driving the car, almost hits these nuns, and this joke could have easily bombed. It could have been a really goofy joke, but the way it's edited and the quick pacing of the joke,
Because
all the nuns take out all their guns, followed by the very last one who brings out a bazooka.
and it's basically like a nice like panning shot. It's just sliding from left to right, showing
Yeah.
each person taking out their own gun.
Yeah.
Each gun's getting bigger and
Yeah.
bigger. And like,
Yeah,
And the
it's
rocket
done really well.
launcher.
It's goofy, but it's done well.
Yeah.
And then obviously the devil and them get away, which at this point, just to make it clear, nobody knows that she's the devil.
No.
They just think this introverted girl has completely come out of her shell.
Yeah.
And they go to this party. No, I'm sorry, they don't go to a party. They go to the dinner.
Their reservation at this deli, apparently.
Yes, yeah.
But it's La Posteria or Poster.
Yeah. And it totally looks like the tables look like beach tables
Yeah.
or like patio tables like on the inside.
Like they were on a budget for this scene.
dude, I
Yeah.
did not pay attention to the scene as much as
Oh
you guys
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like very like it looked like they literally constructed walls that like are of a theater.
Well,
you know?
they just blew up a car like the
Yeah.
scene previous. So
we're
it's like
out of money.
yeah, it's like the money goes with the explosion, and then they're like, we'll just make it. We'll make this
Right.
outside.
Yeah.
So they get to this dinner and she's extremely rude. She's killing bottles of wine. Her date, who's also an introvert, is like falling in love with her like hardcore.
Oh yeah.
And she's just doing all these things that are just upsetting everybody. And after this point, I think they go back to
They
go
go
ahead.
to the I think she takes him out to the alley
yes,
and he's kind of like under her spell at this point. And
yeah, and it's a
there's-
fight very similar to the Guyver.
yeah, it's like this gang that just like choreograph like kind of like dances. Not dances,
Yeah.
but like they come out like in unison and
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, what are you doing out here?"
Here's where it gets weird for me though, and not to like look too much into the plot of this movie and give it like a lot of depth, but she helps this guy like he's like her date, and he's very timid. He doesn't know how to fight. She helps him fight, beat up this gang, and she's like, "Yeah, you got it, whatever." They go back to the house, and she has sex with him and steals his soul and kills him.
It's kind of
Like
yeah.
it's the only thing. Like the character is kind of bizarre right here. Like she's helping him, but then she kills him. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think it's just because she's just having fun.
trying to cause
Like,
chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's not like the souls give her power or anything like that. She just takes them.
Yeah, but I feel like she kind of liked the guy. Like she was gonna kiss him at one point,
Yeah.
but then he threw up, and then she got a mouthwash. She's like, all right, we'll kiss later. I felt like she kind of had a thing for him, and then she stole his soul.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I
should
mean?
have introduced a concept of like, if she gets 6 souls, she's gonna be this
That's a good idea.
mega beast or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
They never introduced any rules. other
Mega
than-
beast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where like
So
she turns
I can kind of get that mythology with that reviewer.
yeah.
It's like there is mythology, but there is no mythology. At the
I
same
mean,
time.
they set up this whole idea where it's like Chaser's been chasing the devil down for eons. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
or probably like 80 years because he's in the 40s at one point.
Sure.
Is when he is like from basically. But it's like we've been doing this for years, just chasing each
Uh-huh.
other from planet to planet, and they never introduced like what happens when he shoots her. Like he
Yeah,
shoots her.
give us a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
totally
something.
agree.
But yeah, they never introduced like why she's stealing the souls.
Yeah.
Or what happens after she's stealing the souls?
And actually, you bringing that up made me think about how the bounty hunter, who's Deane Ashbrook, he is like the main character for like a second, and then he's in a
Yeah.
closet for like 40 minutes of the movie.
he gets knocked out, put in the closet, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, is he filming Twin Peaks during this? Or-
Right.
yeah.
But they do bring him back, and they use a lot of them, so it's
Actually,
not like
that's probably right.
That's what I was. Yeah,
89.
yeah.
it's very possible. So they get back to the house, and pretty much the rest of the movie takes place at this house.
Yeah,
It could have been budgetary things, but like, look, we can only go out for one
It probably
scene.
was, which is fine.
Yeah.
I think it does the whole like chamber play, if you will.
Yeah.
It is like
What's chamber play?
chamber play is when it all like say Hateful Eight is like a chamber
Mm.
play. It all takes place like in one location.
Oh, these are like my favorite movies. I didn't know how to name. I was thinking like movies like Buried and Frozen.
Chamber plays.
And okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So it's
Not
almost
enough
like
time.
that where it's like they set the rest of the movie in this one location. And
Yeah.
then they do leave at some point, but they do it in a good way.
Well, and
Yeah.
I think this is where the slapstick stuff comes in hand
I
because
think
I
because
feel
you got Chaser at this point now.
yeah, Chaser's back and
Which one's Chaser?
Dan
Dan
Ashbrook.
Ashbrook.
Okay.
But he's back and it kind of sets up a lot of jokes that you can kind of believe that they're trapped in this house because like okay, most movies like horror films it's like when they're trapped in a house or something it's like okay, why are they not calling the cops? You know what I mean? Like why are they not solving this situation? Why are they
that's
not
not even a thing.
why are they
Yeah.
not just running away from the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like I think all the comedy and slapstick basically sets it up for why they're there. You know, so you're not what I'm saying is this, as a viewer, you're not asking a bunch of logic questions at this point. You're just
Yeah.
enjoying that. Hey, they're in a house.
I mean,
It is supposed to be
Yeah.
this way. It's funny.
When
like,
it cut to the nuns, shooting those guns and they never reference it ever again. I was just like, I'm all in at this point. Like,
yeah, if it was a real horror movie, it'd be like it'd be that. It'd be like,
Yeah.
why the hell are they still in this house? Like,
It'd be-
just
yeah.
go,
Yeah.
everybody just run out the front door.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
or jump out the second floor window. You
Yeah.
know?
It's so
Yeah.
odd that you bring that up because I never questioned it watching it.
Yeah.
Usually, when you watch like a Friday the 13th or on the opposite side of the spectrum, like a Scream movie or something, you're like with the character, like do this, do that. But for some
Yeah.
reason in this movie, you were just like having fun with it. You're going along with it.
I just
Yeah.
enjoy seeing the dynamics between at this point, you're like, the devil pretty much consumes the souls of literally everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
here's a bit of trivia really quick about the house.
Okay.
You haven't seen this movie, but this is the same house at the beginning of Slime Bowl-orama.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know
The
it's weird.
Exterior or interior as well?
The interior.
Okay.
I think it's just the house in general, but this is a movie coming to the podcast pretty soon. You haven't seen, right, Honto?
I remember seeing parts of it.
Oh, you've seen
because
parts of it,
It was
okay.
on Joe Bob, I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
And so I think I watched like just a couple.
it's in my top
Yeah,
five.
this is
favorite
one of
movies.
those I want to watch with you because
Okay,
I feel
yes.
like you'll have a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah, it's weird that you say that because I was totally thinking that Girlfriend from Hell and Slime Ball Bowl-orama is the perfect double feature.
Oh.
Oh, really? Because I was thinking Waxwork in this, but because it would be a double Dana Ashbrook feature.
I
Yeah.
agree, but Waxwork's not as fun as Slime Ball. Slime Ball is like a goofy tone to it. Waxwork is kind of serious.
See, and I think though with double features, you have to have that. You have to have
common theme.
you have to have like it can't be the same movie.
I don't think it is the same movie.
If it's too goofy, if both movies are like goofy, they're
Yeah.
both B movies.
Yeah.
Then it's like they kind of blend together.
Well, it's like here,
You know?
like one double feature I really enjoy, and I brought this up years ago. It's a zombie movie from South Korea and a zombie movie from Japan.
Okay.
One is pretty serious, and one is very goofy, and I think it's a perfect double feature because it offsets the the tone.
Anto,
Yeah.
in a good way.
what are the movies?
Train to Busan,
Okay.
which is a zombie
Yep.
takes place on a train, and then I Am a Hero, which is about a an outbreak in Japan, and the main character has the only like shotgun.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
kind of obscure, but it's a
Sure.
good double feature because it's like
Yeah.
confined, open, funny, serious.
Okay.
And it's a good offset of.
Okay.
So you're not getting like the same.
Yeah.
So you're saying do like Field of Dreams and Fever Pitch. You're doing like both baseball movies,
yeah.
but different sides of the spectrum.
yeah.
Sure.
Give me Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, and Scream. Okay. Give me give me Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Scary Movie 2.
No.
Okay.
So you don't do that because it's like, well, then it's just sequels, you know?
I
I mean, you could do that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You could do that because essentially they are basically the same movie.
So you're saying like do like Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2.
You could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like
Just
if
plain.
you pick movies that are just like too, it's weird. It's like they're
Too similar in
they're
style.
too similar, but they're like separate movies. Like if you pick
Okay.
sequels, it's okay, right? Because it's
Okay.
like you just continuing the. It's like binge watching the series.
So you mean like Star Wars, like A New Hope, and like Empire Strikes Back would be a good double feature?
Sure.
I'm just messing around with you at this point.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you could do like Star Wars and like Spaceballs.
Yeah,
That's
you know?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Or Airport and Airplane.
Or like the original Fly,
Oh,
and then Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
good one. I mean, it's too kind of similar, but Volcano and Dante's Peak.
I think those.
See, I think those are too similar.
Yeah,
That's
goes
what I'm
against
getting at.
Matt's
That's why I was like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, they're
never
too
mind.
close. It's like Armageddon and Deep Impact. And then
Okay,
like,
how about this?
wait, basically,
Okay,
it's
I
like
got it,
if
I got it.
you,
You ready?
if I look at it this way.
Hold
if you-
on. Independence Day, Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah,
Okay.
because like I feel
Thank
like
you.
it's
Thank you for letting me do
basically-
that.
You could walk like if you had to view them both at the very first time you've ever seen them, and you walked away from the viewing. Could you separate the movies?
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what I always look at with like doing a good double feature. It's like if they're too close, then it's like they blend together. So if I watched Slime Bowl-orama and this, I feel like I'd walk away and be like, yeah, that one movie, Slime Bowl-orama, is that the one where like they're trapped in the bathroom and there's like a girl, it's like taking people's souls? And you're like, no,
Ah.
it's a bowling alley. And you're like, oh.
I don't know. I feel like that would
You know
still
what I mean? I
fit.
feel like it
though.
would-
I get what you're saying.
yeah, it would mesh together too much if you saw them both for the very first time.
Yeah.
The Haunting with Liam Neeson, The Haunting, the remake,
Yeah.
and Scary Movie 2.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
That's yeah.
That's a
Okay.
good one.
Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
And Night of the Living Dummy.
What? That's a book.
It's still a double
Oh,
feature.
they made a Goosebumps movie out
Yeah,
of it.
they
so
did.
Like
Yeah.
a TV show.
That still counts as a movie.
TV
It's a live
episode.
action movie.
Night of the Living Dead and Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
good one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I just, because I'll do that every now and I'll watch double features.
I think it works either way, though. I see where, like, if the contrast is there enough, it makes an even better double feature.
Yeah.
But I feel like this movie and Slime Bowl-orama
Yeah.
would really click
See, and
together.
I think it's like you have to have like a time span between them too.
Okay. 'Cause
Like
they're
they
the
can
same
be
year.
similar, but like, yeah, like what you're saying, like, which one did you say? Night of the Living Dead and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
There's like what 40 years in between those two movies. So it's like you can tell the difference between them. And it's like, but if they're both 80s B movies,
Yeah.
and it's like both goofy 80s B movies that are pretty much made, I think they're same year.
Okay.
89, 88, right? Slime Bowl-orama was like 88.
They're pretty
And
close.
this movie's 89.
Yeah.
So it's like they're so close that it's
Yeah.
like Dante's Peak and Volcano, they're like the same year.
I think it's literally the same year.
yeah.
Night of the Creeps
Okay.
and Slither.
That is a really good one.
They're both comedies, though.
No, they could be the same genre.
Night of the Creeps is more serious. I think it comes
You think
across
so?
as goofy. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of serious moments, but Slither's just flat out just being funny.
But slugs. They're
Yeah.
both about slugs.
Slugs.
And there's like, what, 20 years between
Slughead.
them. So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's a good double feature.
Cool.
Okay. Lethal Weapon,
Uh-huh.
Loaded Weapon.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. Because then
Okay.
it's like you're watching the movie that's making fun of, you know?
Yeah.
I was actually looking at Bruce Willis stuff the other day, and when they shoot up his,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's like, "Sorry, wrong house." He's like, "No problem."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part in that whole movie.
It is. So yeah, girlfriend from hell. Like legit for the next 30 minutes, it's pretty much her just wreaking havoc on the house, having sex with all these guys.
And she's, I mean, like,
She have sex with him?
She has
I
sex
think
with two of them.
It's Carl, I think for sure, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think.
I think her date she has sex with, and I think she has date with the birthday boy.
Yeah,
Doesn't she?
I think they insinuate that she does have sex with these guys and then steals their souls. But
Yeah,
but like with the girlfriend of Rocco, she just flings her across the room and she's a skeleton. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. There's really no point to why she's collecting souls.
Speaking of, like,
how she collects souls,
friends dying or whatever, but like what happens to the blonde hair guy from Animal House? He doesn't turn into one, does he? A skeleton?
I think he does.
Did they show that?
At the end when they all like come back to life.
Yeah,
Oh, do they?
that's the only reason. Yeah,
He's one of them that comes down the steps.
That's
So
why
I
I was
think
confused because
yeah.
like
because I think he was trapped in a closet the entire.
Maybe that's
No,
because-
you're thinking of the other blonde guy,
No,
the one
he-
that was with Daryl Hannah. He was in the closet.
That's Teddy, which is like her boyfriend, the Christian.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Remember from Animal House?
Yeah. But the
It sounded so desperate.
Yeah.
Remember that from Animal
Guys,
House?
please remember.
well, yeah, like I think he gets knocked out because that's he gets knocked out before they kick her out of the window,
Yeah.
and then he's just kind of out of the picture.
Well, that's what I mean. They put him in a closet.
Okay, so I think that's what happened.
Yeah, they put him in a closet to
Okay.
hide him. But
I think you're
But
right.
then when she goes back to get him, he's gone because I think she takes a shower or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah. Or no, she changes her clothes. That's
Yes, that's what
because
it
they come
is.
out of
'Cause
the,
they go to the
they go
beach.
time traveling
Yes.
or not really time traveling, like location traveling.
I think it's supposed to also be time traveling though,
yeah.
because they mentioned he's like I don't know when or where we are. You know?
Yeah.
But he goes to like okay when they go to
Well,
the
they get to
desert.
that point. Let's get to the point because we're almost
Yeah.
kind of there.
Yeah.
Because, she's wreaking havoc on anything and on everything. And then the girl who is from Freddy's Dead.
Which is, I think her name in this movie is Diane. It's Lezlie
Diane,
Deane.
yeah. She kind of clicks with the bounty hunter
With
who's
Chaser,
waking up
yeah.
out of the closet and he's kind of helping everybody out. So they've kind of clicked at this point, and I guess they decide to like start. Why do they start traveling around? What's the reason?
Because I think he's about to. She's distracting Maggie, who's the girlfriend from hell,
Yes.
and while she's distracting her,
Is this during the pool, the goldfish scene where she turns the one
Yes.
blonde girl
Yeah.
into
Which
a goldfish?
That was actually a pretty cool fact.
That's cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah, she turns the Daryl Hannah look like into a goldfish, tosses her in the fishbowl, and she's like in this big bowl.
Yeah, I think
and
it's
then
cool.
She tosses Maggie tosses a Cheeto or
Yeah,
cheese puff or whatever. In
that's
there,
the
and
budget right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that was all of the budget right there. But yeah, so she's distracting Maggie, and then Chaser's kind of creeping up behind her with a little device, and then I think he like grabs it or
Yes.
something, or she grabs
Yeah.
it, and then they zap into the different planet,
Yes.
basically, or the desert location,
Yeah.
if you will.
This is the only kind of slow part of the movie because at one point,
You get this is exposition town right here.
yes, and it's not bad, but it's pretty much just him talking about what he does for a living. That he's the inventor of the condom.
Yeah.
And that God let him go because he did something good for society, and he swore that he would catch the devil and all that. Which I do love this plot. I think the whole plot of this movie is pretty solid.
And
Yeah.
I guess he's like is he like supposed to be like a 1940s detective or something like that?
He's from the 40s.
He's from the 40s.
I think he's from the 40s.
So I guess what happened is do they ever explain how he dies, or he just dies?
No, they never say how he
Okay,
dies. I
okay.
don't think, or
So
they,
I don't think they do either.
if they do, I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay, because he has a relationship with the devil here, and then
Yeah.
dies or something. and
yeah,
then-
but I don't remember if they said they did or not.
Okay.
But yeah, I like, and Matt was actually like, I remember there was a bar scene in this movie, and I'm like, I don't think
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
is.
because I remember being like, I thought it was like a noir setting.
It's very similar.
And I was like, oh yeah, I remember it had a voiceover narration. He talked about how he met the devil in a bar.
Yep.
And it never popped up, and then finally it pops up at the third act in this
Yes,
movie. I was like,
yes.
yep, this is that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a note that this Chaser guy, he comes across as like the mask with Jim Carrey. He's just like pulling stuff out of his jacket, like out
Yeah.
of nowhere, like
He
toilet
pulls
paper.
a beer and a cigar, and
And I think at some point someone said like, "Where's he like putting that stuff?" And I guess it's
Yeah.
like it's supposed to be like in like a magic jacket or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's got like a can of worms that he like.
but like
you know?
I want to, and he's got a gun that he shoots the devil with.
It's like some sort of fancy laser gun.
Yeah, but then he's got this whole like this device that he has, because we haven't talked about this yet. The device that he has, he's like, what is he trying to do? He's trying to like
it's like
zap the devil out of whatever area.
It's almost like it's like an it exorcises the devil out of bodies or something.
Yeah,
and
and then to
just
another.
shoots them off into another planet. Because at the end, when he displaces her, he's like, "Say, babe, come on,
Yeah,
Yeah,
babe."
they chasing her.
Yeah, so it's like they just turn into an orb of some sort.
Yeah, because at one point they're in the desert, which I feel like this is a missed opportunity to do like another planet.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Just cover the do like a Saturn from Beetlejuice.
That's what I was thinking.
yeah,
Throw
Yeah.
like a blue filter or an orange filter on
Exactly.
the camera, and then you're like all of a sudden on a different planet.
some sort
Yeah.
of alien creature. Doesn't need to be a
Well,
lot.
they do,
What?
right? Don't they have something that we didn't talk about this either? In the very beginning of the movie, he's on this. He's in the desert.
But it's a snake, isn't it?
It's a snake.
No. There's something else that attacks him in the beginning.
Okay.
It's like a dog or something, and it's orange.
Oh, I don't remember this.
I don't. Yeah.
It's like glowing, and it's like light. The light of it's like orange, and it's
Okay.
attacking him, and then he
Okay.
shoots it with the gun.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and they never bring it up, and I was wondering if that was an alien creature. Or not.
Okay, so maybe because this is supposed to be the same place in the beginning
Yes,
when he's
yes.
like,
That's what I assume.
I think it's supposed to be.
I agree.
It just reminded me of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey the entire
Oh,
time.
for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
the desert location.
It had to be the same desert, right?
Yeah, it probably. I mean, if it's like California
From
or
Star
whatever.
Trek.
Yeah, exactly.
But they end up like doing this like time travel thing where they're jumping to different locations. And I think this is done very well just because I feel like
Because they go to like
it's not like okay, sometimes you see like jokes in movies that are older and they haven't aged well whatsoever.
yeah.
I think this one's done tastefully.
Yeah.
So like they're like jumping all these different places. They end up going like I think they're in water at some point. Why are they in water? I can't remember.
I think they just zap in there.
Yeah.
And it's like cool because it's like they're talking and
Yeah.
it's like punching
Um,
him and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they go to a strip club and this girl's dancing and he's like totally into it. His eyes are closed and he's dancing. She like teleports him and they end up at a gay bar
yeah.
and he's still dancing and he has no idea that they transform.
It's pretty good.
It's done well because like I said, sometimes you watch like these jokes and you're like, "Ooh, that's cringy," because that is.
Like literally every Police Academy movie
I'm
ever
sure.
made.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
a
Yeah.
lot.
But it's not making fun of everybody. It's just that thought he was in a
He
different
was so
situation.
in the.
It's done well. It's a very done well joke. And they keep teleporting and they eventually get back home.
Yeah.
But this is when she ends up changing because there were, this is when they're
water.
underwater.
Yep.
And this is kind of the finale of the movie because he confronts the devil. And she's, I don't know why, but this scene like really kind of like got to me.
Oh, did you cry?
I didn't cry.
You look like you're about to.
No, but
Yeah.
like he confronts the devil and he's like, "We're done here, blah, blah, blah." I can't remember what he does. No, he tricks her. That's what he does. He tricks her. And she's like, "You're breaking my heart."
Yeah.
And like, I'm really buying what she's saying. And I'm totally forgetting she's the devil. And I'm like, oh man, this is kind of an emotional scene. So that kind of touched me a little bit. But then he ends up zapping her. And then it shows that him chasing her through space.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like the orb, it's like she's the red, he's the
I
blue.
think she's crying as she's flying away. He's like, "Babe, come
He's
on."
like, yeah, because
I didn't mean it.
his whole thing is like, he's like, "Yeah, we'll go to Disney World." And she's like, "Yeah."
That's what it is.
Yeah, because she says like she's gonna take his soul or whatever. And he's like, "All right, before we do that," he's like,
You
"Why
have
don't
to
we go-
return
let's take, he's like,
everybody.
let's take a we'll take a weekend off, return everybody, and we'll go to Disney World.
Yeah.
So she returns everybody. Everybody's back.
Which I was surprised because like I was also surprised when they killed off Carl, which
Yeah.
is the first like victim of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like they turned into straight the nastiest skeletons. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
Skeleton.
non-gory film except for the skeleton stuff.
Yeah. So they like
Yeah.
they're just kind of like cruising through. I was like, oh wow, they're just like actually killing these people off.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when it's like, oh yeah, they're fine. Like she just has to return the souls back and they'll be fine. I
Right.
was like, oh wow, really?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
But yeah, everybody's fine. The bounty hunter says goodbye to the main girl, which I like. They worked well together in this.
they were pretty good. Yeah, I like
not the devil, but the girl from Freddy's Dead.
Leslie Deane, right?
Leslie Deane. Oh
No, that's the main.
Or
That's the
Liane
devil.
Curtis.
yeah, Liane Curtis.
They work well together. I think
Yeah.
their banner's really good. I like how they make the bounty hunter kind of. He's not the greatest guy in the world. He's kind of a
total.
perv.
He's a total pervert.
Yeah, but like I like their banter. It works really
Yeah.
well. But he says goodbye to her, and then he like goes off. Everybody at the party's fine. He chases the devil, and you're just seeing that's going to continue.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the movie. That is Girlfriend from Hell.
I gotta say, I really enjoy all the performances in this movie.
Yeah, everyone is
Everybody.
there to do their job.
Yeah, and everybody does like they all play a character.
Yeah.
And some of them are more cartoony than the others. Some of them, like we talked about the introvert, and
Yeah.
then The girl that looks like Daryl Hannah.
Which
Like
is
that's
like
not her
the-
character.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she's like
she really did look
a
like
church going,
Yeah.
like
Well, her
very
and her boyfriend are-
reserved.
her and her boyfriend Teddy came from a church retreat or Christian like camp or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then his whole thing is really bizarre because she puts a spell on him that he's only attracted to the devil.
Yeah.
And then the girl thinks the only way to get him out of his spell.
It's like, I don't want you to think
I
I'm a
don't-
prude. You want me to touch your pee-pee?
And he's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, it's so gross. And
Yeah.
like their whole like little side story is bizarre.
I don't think
but-
it's a spell though. I think it's like legit.
Him playing like
I think it's he's
Yeah.
he's just that attracted to her. And like she opened up
I was gonna
some
say-
doorway for him, and now all of a sudden he's just like attracted.
Oh,
to
I
her.
see what you're
I was
saying.
gonna
You know
say the devil corrupted him to the point where he wanted to basically
Oh,
break
okay.
his oath with
Okay.
the girlfriend.
Okay.
Which is why he's like nodding his head and then
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah.
even smiling when she's going down.
when she's doing, yeah.
But like, yeah, Lezlie Deane though, probably does the best in this whole movie.
Is she the devil or the
Yeah, the
other
devil.
girl? Yeah.
The girlfriend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Leslie Deane is
Leanne Curtis?
Leanne Curtis is the devil.
devil.
Megan.
Oh, okay. So it's
And
it's
Leslie
reversed.
Deane is Diane, which is the
Freddy's dead.
Yeah.
Freddy's
Yes.
So it's hard because it's
Yeah, they're
Repeat.
so close.
dead.
Yeah.
Maggie or Diane?
Maggie.
Okay, yeah, Maggie does great.
Yeah, is
I think,
Leanne Curtis.
I think they both do really good in this,
Yeah.
but I think Leanne Curtis is awesome in this.
Yeah,
she's so much
She-
fun to watch.
She kills it in this.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to watch her and Dana Ashbrook go back and forth.
Now you're
kinda
getting mixed up. Now you're getting me mixed up because I think you're referring to the devil, but you said, you're just saying in general, like the devil and Dana Ashbrook going back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Okay.
confused because in Freddy's Dead, the girl that she works with is named Maggie.
Oh yeah, it's true.
That's
It's very is what's the guy
Lisa Zane.
Lisa Zane. Her
Yeah.
name's Maggie in that.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm
That's the
s-
nerdiest thing I think you've ever said on this episode. Where you're like, yeah, I'm confused with the character. Dude, I couldn't even tell you anybody's name in any of this. In any slasher film. That's
Carlos.
You know
I'm
Carlos. He knows Carlos.
Dude, I'm legit impressed by that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Not a compliment.
Not a compliment. No, but no, I'm impressed by that you remembered.
Well, before we get into reviews,
Can't remember my birthday, but remembers the character named Maggie in Freddy's Dead.
It's not true. I remember your birthday. Before we start like really dissecting this, let's go to our reviews real quick. We do not have a Rotten Tomatoes score, and I feel like this is a bizarre one. So I'll start because you're not grading it for quality because like something like Titanic.
We're
you're
grading
like,
it on friendship.
Yeah, we're grading it for something like Titanic, which is a well-made movie and it's gorgeous and it costs $1 million and the acting's superb. You're like, all right.
Oh my god, you're about to give this 100%.
But you're like, that's like a 98%. And then for B movie level,
Okay.
like where do you grade it at, right?
Okay.
So here's my thing. When I've seen like a lot of these reviews and they're kind of like what it's like a 5 out of 10 on IMDb, 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
2.9 on Letterboxd.
I would give this a 70. I think this is a fun movie. Honestly, I do not regret this purchase. I could see myself watching this next month again. Like I had fun with it. I think everybody making it is having fun with it. It's lighthearted. It's not mean-spirited.
Yeah.
It's not gory for the sake of having gore. Nobody dies in it. Everybody's alive at the end.
Huge surprise.
I think I just think this is a fun movie. This is probably one of the best B movies I've seen, period. What about you, Hanto?
Yeah, I'll probably mirror that and say 70%. This is a blast to watch with people. This is
Yes.
definitely get some friends together.
There's
And-
5 of us that watched it together.
Yeah, definitely get a group together and enjoy your time watching this movie.
Yes.
I was very surprised that there's like pretty much no stakes in this movie. Like to the point where it's like literally everyone comes back to life.
Yeah,
and
I mean, that's
it,
cool.
And everyone lives happily ever after.
Yeah.
Even like the devil and Chaser, like they're in love and they're just playing hard to get with
Right.
each other.
It's weird to kind of be like, oh, like
Yeah.
at the end of this movie.
But
yeah.
I think it was a really fun time. I think you did a great job with this purchase.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And a great job to the cast and crew for making a good B movie.
But they're second.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Matt, what do you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and do 75. This ranks pretty high on my B movie list.
Yeah.
I'm at now you bought this at Whorehound. I think the next time Vinegar Syndrome does like a sale, I'm gonna end up buying it as
cool.
well.
Very cool.
Because I want to watch all the special features on it.
Yeah.
there's a good like audition tape that we didn't really watch.
Yeah, it's just one of those. We had a blast watching it. It was
Yeah.
a really good. It was a really fun movie. I'm surprised it's not as popular.
I think because it didn't have a DVD release.
Yeah,
From what I read. So I feel like
because I feel like it's like even Slime Bowl-orama, like It's like I like Slime Bolorama, but I understand why Slime Bolorama is not as popular as most movies, but it's more popular than this. Like this,
Probably.
honestly, and I'm surprised too. This isn't a Joe Bob movie. Like I feel like this movie needs
this
to be
would be-
covered by.
I think there was release
I feel
issues.
because I kept mentioning to you guys, this movie feels so familiar to me.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a Monster Vision or a like USA Up All Night.
Yes,
I could see. Well, so Matt says Comedy Central. It very well could have been a USA movie.
I think it was. I think it was Comedy
I think
Central.
I feel like it is Comedy Central.
can see it
because
either
Comedy
way.
Central did that thing that was really weird back in the '90s, where they
Yes.
would show
like student bodies.
Yeah.
American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
I remember that being on there and being
Yes.
like, "What
Yeah.
the hell is this movie on here for?"
Yeah.
But no, absolutely, an absolute blast to watch with a group of people. Super fun B movie. If you're looking for that like '80s B movie just to have a good time with, it never was boring.
Yeah.
This was definitely check it out.
Cool.
Like,
I'm so glad this turned out to be a win
yeah.
because it was like a blind buy, having known what it was, but it was also a blind buy. Yes, I'm so glad it worked out. We had fun. I would totally watch this again in the next few weeks.
I'm glad because I think the first like couple minutes of this movie, I was like laughing and I was like, nobody else is laughing. This is bad. This is not good.
Yeah.
Like,
Bad sign. So take it from us over at Cinema Cult. We got 2 70s and a 75. Sounds like a hit to me. I might say it's probably the best B movie. I would say
oh, that's hard to
if
judge.
I had like off the
Oh,
top of my
really?
head, out of all the B movies I've seen, this is probably my favorite.
I don't have a
I
top
can't
B
even
movie
like
list.
tell
Really?
you.
Just
Yeah.
off the top of my head. I mean, just to like
I would say Waxwork's my favorite B movie off the top of my head.
I like this better than Waxwork.
Because Waxwork, I think it like cracks my top 50 movies of all time.
Really?
Yeah,
All the time.
I love that movie. Like I loved it when I
You
was
do
a
like that
kid.
movie a lot, yeah.
I love showing that movie to people. It's a fantastic movie.
Okay. Well, Vinegar Syndrome, thank you so much for releasing that. I'm so glad we get to watch it and talk about it. So to continue on our halfway to Halloween Vinegar Syndrome pick, Matt, it's your pick. What do you got?
I am picking Ticks
Ooh.
Yes.
with Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Alfonso Riviera.
Yeah. And
Clint Howard.
I remember. So I
Oh,
remember.
I forgot Clint Howard's
Howard's
in
in
it.
it,
Yeah.
yes.
I remember this movie back when he won the Lifetime Achievement Award for the MTV Movie Awards, and they played this a clip from this movie.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah!
I haven't seen this movie since the 90s, so I don't know if it holds up.
well, me and Honto just watched it,
We sure
and
did.
we'll be watching it for a second time with you.
Okay.
So you
So-
can ask us all the questions.
You
We'll
can
be able
ask-
to answer
I
for
don't
you.
know why I'd be asking about why. What is it confusing?
Ask us any
watch?
questions.
We've seen it twice.
We're kind of pros at this movie.
I used to get this mixed up with a movie called Skeeter. It was like a mosquito.
I have no idea what that
Mosquito
is.
movie?
Oh, really?
It's a movie that from the VHS days, which we just talked about.
Okay.
I've never heard of
Yeah,
it.
if I saw the cover, I'd be
I'm
like,
sure
oh, yeah, I might
you.
have-
I'm sure you'd recognize it.
Yeah.
Is it
So-
like Skeeter, like from that Dana Carvey movie where it's like Skeeter?
No,
Skeeter.
it's Doug's best friend. It's Doug's best friend, Skeeter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So Matt's pick from Vinegar Syndrome is the 1993 Tony Randall film Ticks. Movie me and Hunter just watched, and Matt hasn't seen it in probably 20-something years?
25 years.
And I will have watched it twice in 1 week. So I have looked forward to talking about that. If you have any other requests or any reviews or any comments or anything whatsoever about the podcast, you can hit us up on Facebook. You can message us on Instagram. And you can email us at
cinemacultpodcast@gmail.com, or you can leave us a message on anchor.fm.
And as always, thank you so much for listening. We hope you love listening to it because we love doing it. I'm Chris,
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
and we'll see you next time.